Well, welcome to Cab Crew Wednesday on Christmas Day. This is Tom here, and I want to welcome everybody that's coming in tonight. And there's been a lot of live streams today, and I hope everybody's not live streamed to death. I'm not going to stay on long tonight. Just wanted to say hello to everyone. Hi, Todd. Welcome in. Hi, Dwight. How you doing? Excuse me. And hope everybody had a good Christmas so far. I spent the day with my family and got to see my new grandson for the first time. That was good. And hope everybody got what they wanted for Christmas. So see, hey Tammy and Ray, how you doing? How you feeling, Tammy? I hope you're feeling better. Yeah, that's true, Dwight. Sometimes, but I figured I'd just go on tonight just to see how everybody was doing. And my last video I put up, I had a ballasting of the yard that I'm working on. And if I add this up here, and if I make this one bigger, I want to make that one bigger. Okay, down in this area here is my yard. Can't see the whole yard, but this was all blue taped. And then I sprayed it with a spray bottle with the Mod Podge mix in there. And unfortunately, the spray didn't go down in between the rails as good. It did the sides really well, but in between the rails, it didn't do so well. So I took my X-Acto knife and started poking down in between the rails to see where it was hard and where it wasn't. And I found some soft spots. So I just applied some more water to there and then put the Mod Podge mix on it. So that's all section there to right about here was all done with tape. And then underneath here was also done with tape. So let me get out of full screen here so I can see anybody in the comments. And so like then on this side, which is underneath what you see up here, the one container cars, the yard goes all the way underneath and around. And that part was straight track, so I didn't put tape on there because actually I ran out of the 1/8 inch wide tape. As I came around the corner, I ran out. So the corner I got to redo. Can I zoom in on the oil pumps? Let's see if I can. Yeah, one oil pump is down, the motor. This is the motor for it. That's seized. So I got a new one coming. It's taking a while to get here. Thanks, Todd. Let me see if I can zoom in for you there. Dwight, let me get to the zoom button. I think that's this one. I gotta log in. Okay, now I should be able to zoom. That's as close as I'm going to get it without it distorting a little bit. So that's the oil pump fields. And behind them is the oil refinery that I put up there. And once in a while, they get bound, and then I got to just tap it a little bit to get them to start pumping again. And the other day, they all stopped. And I go, what's going on? And then I found out that the power supply, oh, thank you, Tammy. The power supply that runs the oil pumps burned out, and I had to get a new one. I got it from Amazon, and they came the next day, and I hooked it up and say Merry Christmas to Ray also. And I got him working again. And then this one, the first one from the right or the third one from the left, whichever way you want to look at it, that pump wasn't working. And I've been working on below that area on the yard a lot. And I thought maybe I hit a wire or something, because I always stick my head in between these two levels to get to the back of that level of the yard. And it, hey, Randall, how you doing? Glad to see you in here. Hey, John, welcome. Thanks for stopping in. So I took it apart, and then I brought the motor to my desk here and hooked it up to a 9-volt battery, and it wouldn't move. So I had to order a couple of other motors. I got an extra one to have in spare, so I don't have to wait as long. Hey, Chris, welcome. Merry Christmas. And so, hey, Mystic, welcome. Merry Christmas to you, too. And, oh, there's Heath. Who made the panels behind you? Who made the panels behind you? I don't know what you're asking there, Heath. Can you elaborate? Behind me? The switch panel. Oh, I made those, Heath. What I do is I go on Microsoft Word, and then I make those designs. That's for the switches. And then I print it out in color. Hey, John Benicki, welcome. Merry Christmas. And then I take the document to Staples, and then they print it out in color for me, and then they laminate it. And then I just put it on a little piece of pegboard, drill a couple holes in it, and then I have my buttons there to control the switches. I have a couple of them around my layout. And they, that's how I can control the switches close by, or with my power cab. I have like 4 or 5 different ways I can change the turnouts. So with JMRI, each panel I can click on the turnout. I got a separate panel in JMRI that has all my turnouts, and I can control them from there. So makes it a lot easier than trying to figure it out. And all turnouts have a label next to them. If you see here, there's a little gray building there. That's a switch tower and building for that. And then right next to it is a white emblem, and that has a number on it. And that number is the DCC address of that turnout. So I can look right at that turnout. I know it's 102. I can type in my power cab 102 and change the turnout, or go to the panel and change the turnout, or go to my laptop and change the turnout. All depends. So It's that's how I do that. It makes it a lot easier. So, but the ballasting, I was just watching Jason the Train Freaks show, and he was ballasting some of his track, and he was showing us, and everybody does it a little differently. Like he puts IPA in his cement glue mix. I do it differently, and I always wet down the area, and then I apply my cement. But maybe I'll try next time I do it. I'll try Jason's method. He puts the IPA right into the Mod Podge water mix and stuff like that. So, because to get the cement to flow on top of the ballast, if it's dry, it actually puts holes in the ballast, and then you have to reballast it, and that's a pain in the neck. So, another trick I learned from somebody was when they put their ballast on, then they take like some kind of tool. Like I used a small railroad nail hammer I had and just tapped the rails, and then the ballast that was laying on top of the ties would move off of the ties and keep it clean. And that worked really well. I only have very little cleaning on my ties this time. Before, I used to have to scrape off a lot of ballast off of the ties to get them to look right and stuff like that. So there are some spots where the ballast got a little heavy, like right when the ballast tool I had came to the end, and I didn't know there was a little more in there, and it left a big glob there, and then I tried to brush it off and clean it and stuff like that. So, um, you know, you learn every time you do things, and pick up tricks and stuff from everybody, and it makes it a lot easier for you. Let's see if I can get this back down to where's my mouse? My mouse is over here. X out of that. Yep, I can go here and go this way, and then it's back to there. So I was going to run some trains today, but unfortunately, you like those derricks? Yeah, that's good. The pumps? Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I 3D printed all of them and hooked them up and got them working. I sent Jim Tedesco the files that I had for the pumps, and he's supposed to put some on his layout sometime whenever he gets around to it. And hopefully he doesn't have any problems. I had to rework a couple of them to get him to work, and because they were too tight and the pumps weren't going up and down and doing this stuff. So thanks, John. Appreciate that. Chris, thank you. Yeah, so I just like a lot of automation and stuff like that on my model railroad, and so I'm doing that. I got another project coming out. I'm not going to let it out of the bag, but that's the next thing I'm working on. It's that red thing behind me. You see it up on that thing that says Sysrax behind me. That red thing is the next automation thing that I'm working on. I just 3D printed that bracket to hold the device that's inside there. And yeah, I know. That's right, Mystic. It's a pretty good. Oh, I know what I wanted to talk to you guys about is everybody was talking about how they speed match their trains and everything, and the device that some of us have, the guy who used to make them retired and nobody can get him anymore. And I found another device that does the same thing as that. And I think it's a little bit a better model because you don't need to run a train through it like this device does. It has sensors on each end, and the train runs through it, and it gives you the speed, and you can set it up to do a loop and how long it takes to go around and all that. And I can't remember the name of it. Give me 1 second. I'll go into my train room. I had it up on that browser session. Hold on. Train technology. It's called Speed Stick. Okay. The company name, yeah, that's it. That's it, Todd. Speed Stick from Model Train Technology. It's a really cool device. And I thought that was pretty good. I don't remember what I paid for the one that I have that everybody can't get anymore. This one is like $100.50 or something like that. So it's thank you. Hey, Grandpa Rails. Welcome, John. Thanks for stopping in. Merry Christmas to you. So I said, I was going to show you, I was going to download the video. I was on that YouTube page and I tried to download the video, and it wants me to be a premium member just to download the video. So I said, I'm not going to become a premium member just to download a video. I said, well, so it's pretty good and it works really nice. And I said that would help a lot of people if they wanted to do speed matching and stuff like that. So that's the device that Todd mentioned, Speed Stick. So if anybody's interested in that, they can go look up Speed Stick and it'll take you to the website and get you. If you can get one of them, that'd be awesome to see somebody have it and try it. I was going to get one for myself, but I already have that other device and I don't need a second one. But, and also, they have other devices at that website. If you wanted to have sounds and stuff like that, and they have lighting devices for people that don't have, light-its and other gadgets that light up your layout. But they have a lot of nice equipment at that website. So just wanted to share that information with you guys and see anybody needs it or anything. So Heath, you're not doing a show tonight, right? I wasn't going to stay on that long anyway, but I heard that you weren't doing a show tonight. But if you're doing one, let us know so we can drop in and say hello to you. And remove from studio, that's that. And I can add this back up. I don't want to. Let's see if I go do this. No, I can't do this. Oh, they want me to change the name. No, I don't want to do that. Oh, well, I don't know what's going on with this thing. Sometimes remove. Okay, I removed it. And then Present. Oh, I know what I need to do. He's not doing a show. This is the ultimate day to do a box opening. Yes, it is, John. Yeah, I spent my Christmas Day with my family. I got to see my new grandson, only a week old, little guy. But and my other grandsons were there, my granddaughter. It's a good day. Dwight might go on after Heath. Yeah. So let's see. Maybe I can present this screen again. Thank you, John. Yeah. Nico. Niko is what his first name is. He was 6 pounds, 8 ounces, and 19 inches long. And it's funny, my granddaughter was 6 pounds, 10 ounces, and 19 inches long. And my son and his wife got married on 6'10". So how coincidental are those numbers? Maybe they should play the lottery with 6 and 10 or something. Stephen, welcome. No, nothing for the railroad. No. I was going to ask for a GoPro so I can. Yeah, that's right, Grandpa Rails. I want to get a GoPro for my so I can put it on a train so it can show and then stream from it. So that'll be interesting. That's my next purchase. But engines and trains and stuff like that, I 3D print most of the cars I ever need. I got 30 oil tank cars that I got to get up there on the layout, and I got 10 well cars I printed, and they're ready to go. I just putting the decals on, and they were all for the third level, which was under construction for a long time, and that's about ready to go. So I'm just waiting to get them up there. You can see the well cars. Well, you saw the well cars in that one shot I had. If I can present that screen again. Window, that one, share. And you can see the well cars down in the bottom. If I go over here, you might be able to see my mouse. This here, these are the well cars. That's the well car train. And I had, hey, Don, welcome. And I had these articulated well cars, and they are the ones that couple together and don't have couplers in between. They connect with a pin, and there's a spot on the layout. If I make this one big and I point to the area up inside this tunnel, there's one spot in there. I don't know what it is, but when the well cars came through there, they would uncouple from each other. And I mean, the pin on that is only like maybe 2 to 3 millimeters high. And so I just said, okay, I can fix that. I 3D printed a longer pin and then super glued it on, but it didn't help. Too much pressure on that little piece of plastic, then it didn't, the super glue didn't keep it in place. So I said, all right, so then I 3D printed my own well cars, and they're individual well cars, not the ones that I 3D printed before, they were all articulated, and they were They were a group of three together. And the ones that I bought is yeah, Heath, I think there was might have been just a slight hump there. Didn't affect anything else other than those are articulated. That's a hard word for me to say. Hey, Pedro, welcome. Glad to see you in here. Merry Christmas to you. And those were the purchased ones I got from Walters. I think they were the Walters well cars, and they were a group of five together. And those five, the three in the middle would pop off and over that one little hump. And it's a hard spot to get to. And since all the other trains that I ran through there had no problem, the ones that were all coupled together, I says, okay, those other cars are going out of service, and I'll use my 3D printed cars. And I thought I had the 3D printed cars already made, and those were always were derailing, and I put new wheels on them and everything like that. And then as they were going up the helix, they would bind, and because the coupler piece that coupled the two together wasn't long enough, and going around a corner, it would hit the other car, and then it would bounce it off the rail. So they're in a box. I took all the wheels off. Hey, Floyd, welcome. Merry Christmas to you. I took all the wheels off that I redone, and I took off all the couplers, and they're back in stock now. So now I can make other type of cars that I know will work, and some box cars and tanker cars and stuff like that. And I got all the wheels and everything ready for them. The trucks are all 3D printed, and I got the right wheel. I got Intermountain wheels this time, and they fit into the 3D printed truck that I made. So, and without any problem. Before I used to have to ream it out with that tool that you can ream out the trucks with, but that was a pain in the neck. The ones that I 3D print now, just clean off a little of the support stuff that goes on them, and then put the wheel in there, and it spins and it rolls real nice. So that's a 3D printed truck with the Intermountain wheels on it. I don't know if you can see that, but it goes back and forth with no binding or no anything. So it works out really well. So I got about, I don't know, a handful of those already made. So the next, I have a couple of cars in a box that I need to redo the wheels and stuff. So they got plenty of cars to put on. And then once I get my yard done, storing the cars in there and everything, and run the train in there to park them and stuff like that. So make it more realistic than just using the hand of God to get the cars in where you want them. So run them up the helix and run them into the yard, and go from there. So yeah, it was disappointing that, and those well cars are metal, the ones that I got from Walters, but mine are all 3D printed, and so I had to weigh down the container cars a lot to give the car some weight, and that helped it to keep it on a track and everything. So I was I went to the Hobby Lobby. I ran out of To be the best 3D printer, you must print an N scale high hood GP30 and send it to me. Thank you in advance. Well, I started working on an engine that I 3D printed, and the guys who make these models do not take into consideration a lot of things. And I abandoned it for a while because I was working on the layout more than anything. And it was a GP30, but it was an HO. And it wouldn't fit. The body wouldn't fit with the motor in it. So that's a project I'll work on after I retire. And I got a Subway car that I had half started, and the motor, the trucks on that wasn't that good. So I had to figure that one out too. But once I get my trains running, that's the most important thing. So if you send me the STL file for it, I'll print it for you, Mystic. Not a problem. I got plenty of, all my printers are down right now. I'm not printing anything. I started printing a garage, maintenance garage for my garbage dump. And I just printed the foundation today. So I just wanted to see how it would fit up there. And I got to move things around to get it to fit in there properly. So that's the next thing of printing wise. For a card boxes. No, I don't. Doesn't mean I can't find them. You're talking about for your cards, for your operations stuff. You want something, just let me know. If you can find something, you need it printed, just send me an email and with the STL file or a picture of what you want. I might be able to design it on Tinkercad. Like all these bottles, all those things up there for the paints, I designed those and printed them, made different sizes for different bottles, stuff like that. Those tool holders, I don't know if you can see them. Red doesn't show up too well on the camera, so I don't know why. And those are all there to hold all my tools. I got tired of them sitting there. Any photos? No, I don't know. Paperwork. I need a single card box for one location, and all I have are 3-way and 5-way. Well, I would need to see a picture of it, and then we maybe come up with one. Oh, really, John? Well, maybe he should contact Mr. Banicki and see if he has something. He'll send them to you later. Good, there you go. Did you 3D print them on filament or resin, John? Well, I'm sure he wants, JD probably wants some leveled, right? So wide for a card to fit into it, right? Filament, okay. Well, I have 2 filament printers and 2 resin printers, and they're usually going, but the holiday I gave them a break. throttle holder. Oh, okay. There's lots of throttle holders, STL files out there. Hey, Sparky, welcome. How you doing? Merry Christmas to you. So it's the 3D printers are off for the holidays. Yes, that's correct. They're sitting idle. Besides, I was too busy today. Got up first thing this morning, started to pull off all the tape on the yard so I can check it out, the ballasting. Once I got that off, I sent a message to the family, hey, when are we having dinner? And that was until 1:30. So I said, oh, I got time to work on the ballast. So I started poking away and I found some loose spots and I resealed them with some cement glue and water and made my way around. And I got like 2/3 of the way done. So the other side I know is good because that I use an eyedropper on. And this side here where I had to redo some spots was with the spray bottle. I don't really think the spray bottle covers the area as good as you want because you're more worried about getting the spray on something that it shouldn't get on. So I think from now on, I'm just going to use the eyedropper method on the ballasting of the tracks. I think that's more controlled way to do it. He printed singles and doubles. Does it? So I would like to see that too, John. I'd like to see what that looks like. So when you email Heath, you can CC me on it. I'd like to see what that looks like. Sparky waits if he said he's interested in a single holder. That's right. So what time did you end your stream, Sparky? Tired. 4:14. Yeah, because when I came home, it was almost 6 o'clock, and I left your stream on, and then it was off onto something different. Yeah, that's sometimes it looks like a lot of work, right, Mystic? Go get him, JD. You have to stream for 4:15 tonight. 4 hours and 50 minutes. That ain't gonna happen. 9 o'clock, I'm cutting it off. That's all it is this learning curve, right, Heath? So let's see. Should I bring this back down to this? What do you guys think? Should I put a cover over those tortoise machines that are hanging down there, or just leave them hang there? Well, Sparky's used to doing those long streams. I usually keep my streams to an hour. Once in a while, I go 2 hours, but never longer than that. Are you home, Randall, or are you on the road? Make the fascia deeper. Well, I could do that, Heath. That fascia is 6 inches. If I make it deeper, I won't be able to get my head in between the bottom layout and there. So that was designed that way so I could get my head in there and work on it. I can twist around and look up and see what's going on sometimes. Hey, John, welcome. No interior building interiors. I look at it like can't see them. So there's one building I have that has an interior in it, but other than that, okay. Hmm. Get a smaller head. Yeah. That's why I don't have hair on my head. If I had hair on my head, it'd be getting caught in all the wiring and everything every time I go underneath the levels. So, hey, John Knuffle, how you doing? Welcome. Merry Christmas to you and your family. Yeah, that's what I don't understand, Sparky. Here, here's the plywood, and then that's an inch foam. Okay, this is 4 inches from here to here. I got to look at them again. Or maybe that's just the camera showing them like that. I don't know. I'll have to look again. Hey, Jason, welcome. What do you mean you don't understand anything? uh, yeah, that was weird. That wiring there is down because I was working on the oil field up above it. So that'll all be tucked up and underneath the fascia. You won't see it. But I had it all tucked up in there, but I had to get it out so I can get the pump out. So somewhere else, I have 2 other pumps running on another level. Hmm. Thanks, Dwight. Yeah, it took a while to get them to all work and print out and work properly. Then the refinery, like I said, is off to the um, right of those. I don't know if I can move the camera over there. Yeah, I can move the camera over to there. And then there's the oil field. The lights. That stuff that's on top of that tank there is piping. I got to put the piping in throughout this area here and stuff. So, hey, look, no more switch machines. Yeah. Yeah, all I got to do is move the camera, right? But that's that. And then off to the right of the oil field is the gas company. They make the gasoline and the propane and stuff like that. So, and there's a track that goes into there. So there'll be oil tank cars in there instead of those other cars. I just put them there to get them out of the way. So, but if we go back over here, you'll see the switch machines come back. I think that's an optical illusion. If I go down to the yard, they're not low. They can't be low. They're mounted onto this part here. Those machines are mounted onto this part here. Oh, I know where they're from. We forgot one little thing. Underneath this level is the subway system. And those are for the subway system. That's why they're lower. There's a double crossover turnout there. And there's 4 switch machines there operating that double crossover. So they weren't going to be there because I had a crossing track, but that didn't work out. So I put a double crossover, a Walters double crossover turnout, and I needed 4 switch machines to control all 4 turnouts. So that's what those are. So can't hide those, but I think maybe I'll just put some kind of box there or something to hide them or something. I'll 3D print them. MTB MP4. Okay. I'll write that down. MTB MP4. Are they low profile motors? And are they DCC ready motors? Those turnouts there are smalls and are motors, and also I need to run 2 wires to the DCC bus line for the accessories, and now I have power and I can control them through JMRI or through my power cab. You need a decoder. Okay. Oh, I see. Well, I'll have to look into that, Heath. Thanks for that. Okay, Jason, thanks for stopping in. Merry Christmas to you and your family, and we'll catch you around later. Take care. So I'll have to look into that one, and you need a decoder. All right. Does MTB, MPH recommend a decoder, or do they have their own decoder for it? or get a switch 8. Well, I have a couple of switch 8s on my layout, but I think they're pretty full occupied. So I'm not sure. Ask Seth Newman. Thank you, John. I'll look that up. Most decoders will work. Ask Seth Newman. All right. So they're 3/4 of an inch. Oh, they do, Todd? Okay, that's good to know. Well, I'll have to look that up and check that out. I don't have any problem changing out something if it's going to make it look a little better. Because there's 4 of them there. You can't see the other 2 because they're on the other side. So turn the lights on, Heath. I can't see it. No. See, well, the reason why we can see the track and everything on this screen here is the LEDs I have on here, and they're called daylight. I use them only when I'm working on the track. So if I say to my Alexa, if I say computer, daylight off, now it's dark. And you can see the lights over top of the engine house. And there's lights in these buildings, but they're not on because the system's not on. So, but these other lights come on automatically, stuff like that. So once I'm done with the stream, I'll go back and work on the yeah, that's right, Mystic. They're LED strips. You get them from Amazon, comes in a roll. You unroll it. One end, you plug it into the little controller device that comes with, and that gets plugged into a wall wart, and then you plug that into your power, your adapter or whatever, and then a remote control works them. I can make them different colors and stuff like that. But I like bright light when I'm working on the layout so I can see. And daylight, they come on when I tell Alexa daylight, and then that comes on, and it comes on all my levels. So if anything's underneath something, there's LEDs above it, and then that lights up the area. So the level at the top is the 3rd level. Down here where you see these white tanks, that's the 2nd level, and then below that is the 1st level, and this yard is in between. So I guess I have 4 levels, but that's it. Tracks I have the MP5. I really wish I waited for the MP4. I need to check out the DP4. I right now just do not need any more. So do they have a device that can handle 2 turnouts? and 4 turnouts. Yeah, okay. Well, maybe I'll look at the DP4 then. That has a decoder in it already. Yeah, that's right. That's where I got them from, Amazon. Well, mine are warm white. Mine are warm white. And then I originally I got some cool whites, but the last batch I got um, were colored, but I always put them on bright white so I can see. I can make that look like a storm color or nighttime color. Even the light above in the ceiling is also an LED light. I used to have a track light up there with 4 spots on it, and it would light up the whole room. And I had some issues with the switch that was in the ceiling there. So I took that out and I put an LED light in there, and that I can change all the different colors and stuff like that too. So yeah, the LED, they are out there. You just have to scroll. That's correct. Um, so, you know, if I say computer, daylight on, and now they're back on. So, yeah, okay. Um, well, I use KAUF CAF smart plugs, and they plug into any device I can plug into the smart plug. And then JMRI controls all those devices. Hey, Kyle Stevens, welcome. Merry Christmas to you. So, the lights that you see on, the pumps that you see working, are all plugged. Those power supplies are all plugged into a CAF smart plug, which is run on Home Assistant, which then connects to JMRI. And in JMRI, I have the lights table set up, and I can turn on and off the lights at will, but they're set to come on at 6 o'clock in the evening or 5 o'clock in the evening, and then they go off at midnight or 11:30 or sometime like that. So they go off and on every day, and it's like the layout comes to life at nighttime. So it's all automatic. So yeah, that's um, how I do it. And JMRI, as long as JMRI is communicating with Home Assistant, it goes and does that stuff. But DCC Concepts makes a lot of good stuff. I have their Cobalt IP devices, and I like them because I don't need a Switch 8 to control them. They just connect to the DCC bus line. Same thing with the smalls. I have, I don't know, 30, maybe 35 tortoise machines on my layout, about 30 some Cobalt IPs, a couple of smalls. I forget how many. I wish I could say, hey, computer, ballast the tracks, but that doesn't work. So ballasting the tracks is an enjoyment. It relaxes me, and keeps me alert, because you yeah, I have to inspect each tie to make sure there's no ballast on the tie. And then I watch Jason paint the ties. And I wish I would have known that ahead of time, but these are things you find out after watching other people. And it's going to take me a lot longer to paint my railroad ties because I'm already ballast and stuff. So, but the rails, I can paint them. And I never knew until tonight when I listened to Jason how he was talking about it. Um, he was because I was saying everybody's saying, "Oh, paint the rails and do this and make them look more realistic and stuff." And I'm going, I look at rails on the railroad and I see shiny on the top and rust on the side. But I thought when they said paint the rails, paint the whole rail. And he goes, no, you only paint the side of the rails. You don't paint the top of the rails. So now I feel more comfortable painting the rails. So did someone have a question for me? Until I get a set of turnout points. Well, in the past, Todd, I used to ballast the turnouts. And then that got to be problem area because ballast would get in between the points and everything. So in the yard, I got like 15 turnouts. So I only ballast the turnouts on the straight sections on the diverging track coming in to the frog area. I wouldn't go in between the frog and where the throw bar is. I didn't put any ballast in there. Maybe later on, I'll go back and add a little ballast and then do it. I can do it meticulously and do it that way. And but I said I'm not going to mess around with ballasting the turnouts in the yard right now. I just do as much as I can around them, and I'll go back and ballast them later because that yard took up three of those big bottles from Woodland Scenics ballast. I use the cinders color for all my ballasting, except for the first level. That was the sand color one. I'm thinking about painting that the same color to match the rest of the layout. So that'll be a whole nother project to do. So, yeah, that's right, Todd. But if you do it slowly, okay. Thanks, Heat. Thanks, John. I'll take a look at that. Yeah, it's up on Thingiverse. Okay, I'll find it. I use Thingiverse a lot. So, but that's what's the next plans are is to paint the rails and paint the ties, the rail ties and stuff like that. So, yeah. Yeah, sometimes. Well, I haven't had that problem yet, John. Um, my layout is what it's going on the third year now, and most of it has been expansion, adding on, adding on, adding on. Started out with a 4x10, and then just added on. I wish I wouldn't have put the 4x10 in. It's hard to reach over 4 feet, but I made it so that I can get behind it, and that helps. So, because I have the tunnel area, let's see if I can show you guys that. We get to this here, go back to here, and bring this guy up. This is the original layout. This is a 4x10, and train goes in the tunnel here, and then it goes underneath the tunnel, which is, you know, the mountain, and then it comes out and it goes around and then it goes in through the tunnel behind this A-frame. There's another tunnel down below here, and this goes in a big loop. And so, hi, the Dutchman's Woods Shack. Welcome. Merry Christmas to you and your family. So I behind here. Well, if I can bring this. Let me see if I can zoom out on this a little bit, because we got the. I don't know if it's going to let me. If I go up. See, there's the lightning and thunder and lightning. So the billboard and all that stuff. So it's so that's behind there. Even though there looks like there's no room back there, I can stand back there. So if I have to get back there, I can get into the tunnels from back there. So, and then this layout to the left of it, that was my second edition. That's only 3 feet wide, and that I can reach over and get to. Fortunately, I'm tall enough to do that. I can reach across and get any spot. But in the back corner, I don't know if I can bring the camera over to show you that. I think I can. Yeah, this will take me all the way over. Okay, there you can see. Right here, back behind there, my electrical panel to my house is on the wall back there. And I have a step stool there so I can get up to the upper levels. I can crawl underneath the layout here and get back here. And then I have drop boards with backdrops on it that I'm down right now because I'm doing a lot of work. So thanks, John. And so I'm working on clouds and stuff for rain and stuff. That's coming. I got the clouds made, but I haven't figured out how I'm going to do the rain yet. Well, when I had a train derail on a turnout, it was usually because the coupler hose was hitting the rails on the turnouts, and when you go over regular track, you're not going to hit anything, but because you have that piece coming around on a curve to go to the diversion track. Thanks, John. Appreciate it. You could hit that, and maybe. So I have this KD tool that everybody probably has to check the height of the coupler. And ever since I've done that on my cars, I haven't had any derailments on a turnout. And I have number 6 turnouts. I got number 8s. I got a triple turnout. That's a Pico. That's sitting. If I get my mouse on the screen, that's right there. And that is the only code 100 track that I have on my layout. Everything else is code 83. So I have those special joiners here, 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 and there to convert from code 100 the code 83. I got triple, I got double crossovers that I made and double crossovers that I bought. I got a double slip that's up in the third level, and that takes me over to my turntable and into the oil field, refinery, and the gas works company. So the double slip. And so I have all those turnouts, and I don't have any cars or engines derailing on any of those. Even this here, which is kind of a goofy setup, but that's how I convert. That's how I get the trains coming from this town over to this town. And it's just a single cutover. There's a turnout here and a couple of small pieces of track put together, and then another turnout here, and you can get onto this layout. And then that has another turnout that takes you over and up to the sorry to hear that. Feet issues are not cool. When they hurt, can't do anything. Hard to sleep at night and everything. Put them in some salt water and let them soak a while. That might help them. That's Dr. Tom talking. Have a good night, and I hope you had a good Christmas, John. Take care. So that's just a little bit about the turnouts and stuff like that. Well, Dutchman, the engines, if you have are a 4-wheel or 6-wheel, if the 4-wheel engines, they have a tendency to hesitate over the frog area. All my frogs are powered, even the triple, the double slip. Every frog in my layout is powered. So I have DCC current on them, and I use the Tortoise machines, the Cobalt IPs, and the Smalls, all to control the polarity for the frog. And all my small engines work. The only problem I have is with the crossovers, the 25s, the 15s, the 45s, or whatever. Let's see if I can get over to here a little more. Sorry for the moving the camera real fast, but here, this double crossover that I made, the 4-wheel engines will hesitate because there's all this crossing has in it is plastic, and it isolates everything. So yeah, the big boy, well, I don't have any steam engines. All mine are diesels. So this bridge here has 4 signals on it that controls these 4 turnouts here. Tonight's on Jason's channel, he was talking about custom signaling systems. That's Richard. He's a good friend of mine. I worked with him a lot. I told him about my situation here, so he built me this bridge signaling system here, and a lot of my signals on my layout are the layout are all from Rich. Then I started 3D printing a lot of my signals, so I 3D print a lot of them. Door signals, all the yard signals are all 3D printed. So if I go up a bit, that's the second level there. We go over. I forget how far this camera goes over. I think it goes all the way over. It goes all the way over. And as you can see here, if you get to this level, then there's a turnout there, and that takes you across this level here. And if we go further over, then we get to my helix. So this enters into the helix, go around the helix, around and around and around until you get up to the second level. And then you go into these businesses up here. You go up a couple more levels. You get to the yard and stuff like that. So if we do this guy, that's the helix. And there's the second level. There's the yard. There's the subway entrance. And then back behind there, on top of that building, is the subway exit. You can come in and out either way, it doesn't matter. And you can also go up even further to the 14th level on my helix. And this is the third level. And that's what I was showing you guys earlier. So you may have said this already, but how big is your train room? Okay. I didn't say. My train room is, I want to say it's 14 wide by 20 long. But the train room is really in the 10-foot side of the room until I then extended the third level, which is up above, because this is my traffic area. I come into the front door. I'm in the foyer, which is the Hey Willow Creek welcome. If we go and to the camera here, if we bring up this level, now I don't know, maybe the helix can show you. Yeah, see here, if we rotate the camera around, okay, there's a sliding door. That's a pocket door that goes into my dining room and kitchen. And if we go around here, and then third level goes all the way up to there. And now we're underneath the third level. And then we're coming up, and there's the front door. That's my front door. So I couldn't put trains down below. I'd have to have 3 lift gates to get at a lower level in the other side of this room. So I didn't want to have anything to do with having that many lift gates or pull ups or whatever. So up there, my farm scene, you guys seen that before. This goes back over to the helix, so I can keep an eye on that guy. And yeah, 10 by 10 is a good size. I like that. This room was when I bought the house, I didn't have any idea I was going to do model railroading at the time. And I had furniture in here. I had an air conditioner that was a heater on the wall right here in this area. And that's gone. Sealed that all up. And I have a fireplace. It's a gas operated on the back wall. And it was like a family room. So I said, okay, I want to get into my model trains because my mother had passed. And pretty soon, Mystic, I was thinking about going outside, poking a hole through one of these walls and go outside and running around the backyard. But I'd have to keep it up high enough so my dog could run in the yard. And so I don't know, maybe one day I'll do that. But we have snow, it rains here. I don't know. I've seen some guys doing videos of pushing the snow with a snowplow. And I don't know if I want to go through all that. It's hard enough to keep the trains running indoors, let alone outdoors. So, okay, Floyd, thanks for stopping in. Appreciate it. Merry Christmas to you. And have a good night. We'll catch you around the next time. So, all right, people. Well, I said I was going to get off at 9 o'clock, but I've been rambling on here. And if anybody got any other questions, let me know. Did I miss somebody? Brad? Who's Brad? Is that the Dutchman? Oh, sorry if I got the wrong guy's name, but I try to remember people's names so that I'd like to call them by their names, not their channel names. So, but I want to wish everybody a late Merry Christmas. Hope everybody had a great day. And I'm glad that you all came in and spent some time with me here on Christmas Day. And I posted my videos of the issues on my channels, the Dutchman Woodchuck. Okay, well, I'll check them out. Maybe I can give you a hand sometime, Dutchman. Like I said, I want to thank everybody again. Appreciate it. And I'm going to end the stream now. And thank you for stopping in. And everybody have a good night. And we'll catch you all in the next one. I don't know who's doing next week's. I think it might be Trackside Mike who's doing the next Cab Crew Wednesday. He does the first one in the month, and next is the 31st. Yeah, that's right. So somebody else. Well, I don't know if anybody's doing New Year's Eve one. We'll have to wait and see. But thanks, John. Appreciate it. Yeah, it took me a while to build that thing too. Everything takes time when when you're just one person. But Barbara comes over. She helps me with the painting and stuff like that. And I'm showing her how to run the controls on the trains and stuff, so she can help me run the trains and stuff. So, all right. So, thanks a lot. Good night, everyone, and we'll see you all in the next stream. Everybody have a great day and Happy New Year if I don't see you before then. And we'll see you all soon. Everybody take care. Good night.